So I am a Swedish lawyer, which means that I'm a member of the Swedish Bar Association, and they have a department for the foreign lawyers. And I'm one of the partners at the law firm of Franke de la Fuente. And we are a team of 18 people with 3 offices in Marbella and Centro Plaza Nueva Andalucía, and now also in Estepona. And we are very specialized in property transactions, in tax law and urban law.
Okay. Today we're going to talk a little bit of some clients that we normally have and they want to invest in Marbella. So if you can give us some advice to this kind of client where they always have their doubts if they're going to buy it on their own name, company, or maybe a company that they already have back in their countries, either in Belgium, Holland, or Sweden. If you can tell us what you normally recommend to a client that is looking to make an investment.
Sure, I mean that is something that we see, I think, more and more now. The market here locally has been attracting investors from many different countries. Maybe due to the fact that the markets in their home countries are not that, for different reasons, interesting for them, or it's just an interesting venture to do some business in this area. And I think the first thing that I usually tell clients that come with an investment plan is that this can be a market of opportunities, but it can also be a market that can seem to be quite difficult to penetrate as a foreign investor. So I always recommend that they are working with professionals, and they need a team. They need a team of professional brokers that knows the market and have done these kind of projects before. They need professional and good architects, and they need then, of course, in a wider sense, construction companies, maybe interior designers and so on. So they need to form a team, which includes lawyers as well, to make a smart and sensible project.
Okay, yeah, so this is exactly what we recommend to our clients, and we have done this with several clients for over the 15 years of our office. We've been doing a few developments as well with private clients, and it's, as you said, it's really important to have especially a good broker that is going to put you right on the picture of Marbella, where are the good areas, where to be and where not to be, which is the important part, as well as having a good architect. As you said, I agree completely. And as a tax point, will you recommend them to buy on their own name or a company, or which is the best way to get into once of course they find the right project?
Yes, and that of course there's no general rule to apply for each and every project, because each company, or let's say each individual is different. They have different financial and tax considerations to think about. But if it's a pure investment and you don't have any purpose of you to live in the property yourself, you just want to invest, you have a commercial idea, then usually most of the investors are doing it through either a, let's say, home country company, or most cases actually a Spanish SL company. And there are certain tax rules that are beneficial for investors here in Andalusia when investing in a resale that is a used property. Certain deductions of the transfer tax can be applied under certain conditions. So basically, if there is a property, it's a resale property, there's commercial use of that property or a commercial plan for that property for to rent it or to renovate it or rebuild it, instead of the 7% transfer tax, a 2% transfer tax can be applied, under the condition that the property needs to be sold within 5 years. And I have to say that maybe it's the most common setup for investors here.
Okay, so if they're trying or they're looking to make an investment to sell or rent, then they can buy with a 2% reduction taxes. They have 5 years to sell that property. in case that they don't sell it in these 5 years, what is the situation?
Well, again, as a lawyer, I have to always be careful about to say the general idea. But as a, let's say, as a more of a the general rule is that you need to sell within 5 years. Yes. That's the rule. And if you don't do that, the margin between the 2% and the 7% will be applied by the tax office because you don't comply with the conditions for the reduction.
Well, I have to say that right now, as the market it is, we have plenty of clients looking for a quite brand new house, renovated up to the standards. Normally a house that is, or an apartment that is being renovated, it stays very little time in the market. So I understand that it will be sold very, very fast. So at that point of view, if you make the right investment in the right location with the right team, there's a big percentage that you will be success.
I can see that point.
And if you buy this house and in the meantime, could you rent the house with this 2% reduction? It's allowed?
Well, again, on a more of a, let's say, a general level, it needs to be a commercial use. Because if you let's say you want to use it yourself, for yourself or for your family, and you actually live in the property, then a completely different set of rules will be applied. Rental tax or any other, consideration from the tax office. If it is a commercial use and it's determined by the tax office as a commercial use, you're investing in the property, you're renting the property, you make money of that property basically, because that is the purpose of a company, is to make money. So if the company is making money or making investment in that property to make money, then the reduction can be applied.
Well, talking about taxes is an important part of this business if you are investing in a property. And we always, from our office, always look at the purchase price, the price we're going to be spending on the construction, on the decoration, and the profit we wanted to achieve. These days, all these percentages are coming very tight, and all these taxes are very important to take into account. I understand that every single project will have to be studied specifically, right?
Yeah, that is absolutely correct. And going back to what I said in the beginning of the conversation, is that if you have a proper plan, and if you're working with professionals that knows the market and that also has experience with actual investments, because that's quite different to buy a property for vacational use or for holidays than to buy something to invest in. It's two completely different products, really. So the client needs to have a service from a professional broker that knows that kind of product to start with, and to have also some kind of at least knowledge about which kind of taxes that will be applied for different kind of projects. And when the broker has those options then available to the client, interesting investment projects, what we usually do, and you would know that we sit down together with that client, go through all the, let's say, legal and tax concerns that the client have, to make an actual budget, including the taxes, before the client makes that pretty important decision. And I think that's, in the end, a wise way to approach investment in Marbella.
Well, if any one of our clients are looking to make an investment in Marbella, they're welcome to give us a call, email, and we will study and go through all the points that we've been discussing in this interview, because there are plenty more details to be discussed. So, of course, your professional office and of lawyers and accountant, one of the best in Marbella. I think they are very helpful.
Well, thank you. And it's quite fun to help investors with projects in Marbella, because it's of course a wonderful place to stay and to work in. And if they also can combine that with good business, then it's nice work.
I mean, for me, is the best part of my business is to find the right property and do a nice and high, or Mike has always tried to do a high-end renovation, put it back in the market, and having a nice product, a unique product that we can sell. The investor promoter can have his margin, but also we have a good product to sell that nowadays it's very important.
Yeah, I see that.
Well, Peter, thank you very much. It has been a pleasure. I'm sure we will do more interviews to get more into details, but for now I think people will have a good picture of how to invest in Marbella, and of course if they want to get more information they can get in contact with you, and we'll see you very soon.
Thank you. Always a pleasure, Javi.
Always a pleasure.